So here's Donald Trump meeting Japan's new Prime Minister, and take a look at the symbolism. This is the Freemasonic Royal Arch. Checkered board floor, 2 pillars and an archway. Checkered board floor, 2 pillars and an archway. People are ignorant if they don't understand this. They're showing you they are occultists. That does not mean they're inherently evil. It just means they study the occult. They study the hidden, unseen aspects of the human psyche and the human consciousness. These people are very intellectual. Now, it's up to them how they use this knowledge. Do they conceal it and use it against others, or do they use this knowledge to uplift people? You can decide for yourself how they use this knowledge. But they're basically showing you that they are initiated into a secret society or an occult school. You know, Book of Symbolism comes November 17th. You'll learn all about this. You need to prepare for life after death. The Egyptians tell you this. Anubis is the god of death or the underworld. He's telling you, before you die, your heart needs to be as light as a feather. The heart is emotion and love. If you love sex and materialism, then your heart will be heavy, not light. And when you're in the spirit realm, you will still desire the material things, but you will not be able to fulfill them. Therefore, you will desire to come back to the physical earth. This is an instruction to remove all desire for material things and free your consciousness from any attachments and addictions, and then your soul will ascend to a higher astral realm. Even Jesus told you this. For what shall it profit a man if he gains the world but loses his own soul? Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. So the elites have made people Satanists without even knowing. This is how crazy the world has got. And this is why we need to understand symbolism, because most people are walking around and they are in fact satanic without even realizing. They make you believe that Satanism is a religion when it's not. It's not the worship of Satan. Satanism is a state of consciousness, which is exactly what the skull and bones means. If we look at the skull and bones, we have a skull, which encloses the brain. The brain is intelligence. The mind, thinking, thought. Then we have bones, which are the limbs for the arms and legs, which take action. So this is a symbol of thinking and acting, the mind and the body. Thought and action. But notice it's grey. Grey has no emotion. There is no emotional symbolism here. We are mental, physical, and emotional. But there is no emotion. Why? Because emotion is empathy, love, care. The emotion tells you what is right and wrong at all times. So a Satanist is someone who thinks and acts without connection to the feminine forces of consciousness such as emotion. We're meant to think, feel, and then act. If we think of stealing an old lady's purse and we feel in our heart that it's wrong, then we should not take the action. But a Satanist is a person who goes against the love of the heart. That is a Satanist, and most people are Satanists without even realizing. It's all an illusion. If you want to become successful, you have to understand the pentagram, because this reveals the secret of how spirit turned into a material reality. When you draw a pentagram, it's descending down from spirit to fire to air to water to earth to spirit. It's one continuous line expressed in 5 different ways. You don't lift your pencil off the paper, symbolizing the process of spirit turning into a material reality. This is why this is associated with magic, because each element is symbolic for an aspect of you. Spirit is the divine source where all things emanate from. First descends into fire, which represents the willpower. The will then manifests down into air, which is the mind, the intellect, thinking. Then that manifests down into water, which is emotion, desire, care. That manifests into the earth, which is your physical body, where you take action. Emanates from the source. You have willpower, thought, you have a care, and if you have a care, you take the physical action. And that's how all creation is manifested into a material reality. And for anyone asking, November 17th is the date for the new book of symbolism. So if you're born in one of these zodiac signs, you're probably thinking, why did the Freemasons use these zodiac signs? But let me tell you, this is symbolism. This is not talking about star signs. It's something much more deeper. If we take a look at the symbolism here, we have a coffin which represents a state of unconsciousness. Before you spiritually awoke, you didn't even realize you possessed consciousness. You took life for granted, but then you rose out the coffin, which means you became aware, you spiritually awoken. So the reason why they use these zodiac signs is because these signs from Aries to Libra are the signs where it goes from spring to autumn, where there is the most light. This period of the year is the warmth, the most light given by the sun. These zodiac signs are the darkness where autumn and winter takes place. So it's about rising from the coffin into the light of higher consciousness. So this is allegory for more light, which is just symbolism for knowledge. It's why if you're intelligent, you say you're a very bright person. So it's going from darkness to light, from unconsciousness to becoming conscious of the self. Before you decide to watch porn, say to yourself in your mind, what is the effect of this course? Is that effect going to push you towards who you want to be and where you want to go in life? Or is that effect pulling you away of who you want to be and where you're going in life? Say this every time you make a decision. What is the effect of this course? And if it's not aligning with who you want to be, do not take the action. If you look at Erica Kirk's ring, you'll see the letter G, but everyone always says, what does this G represent? Yes, it's Freemasonic, but this is the reason why guide, gnosis, geometry, Genesis, God all begins with a G, because it all relates to the generative principle. The generative principle is the force that creates all reality, which is care, or the heart, the love. All creation is created through love. You're watching this video right now because you care about gaining the information. And if you don't care, you'll take the action to scroll and find another video you care about. Whatever's in front of you in your reality, it's because of the G, the generative principle, the care energy. You only take action on what you care about. If you care about money, you'll take the actions to generate that reality. If you care about football, you'll take the actions to generate a football reality. So this is the G. This is the force that drives human action. This is why they say money makes the world go round, because everyone cares about money. So here's Michael Jackson telling you to escape Saturn. This is the Saturn ring with the stars, right? Because they speak in symbolism. And if you do not understand symbolism, you are walking through life like a headless chicken, not understanding the communication that's being communicated to you. You have to understand symbolism. But what is Saturn? Saturn represents anything that restricts human consciousness, anything that restricts you. That could be a law. This is why judges wear black robes to represent the black planet of Saturn, because it's associated with the winter, darkness. Anything that restricts you. It could be belief systems, religion. This is why you always see the black cube in religion, because the black cube symbolizes Saturn and it restricts the mind. It enslaves the mind, and you cannot develop your consciousness if you believe in a religion, because it externalizes your power into an external god. So he's basically telling you to escape the mind control. So here's Kanye West, and take a look at the symbol that he's wearing, which is a double-headed eagle. The same double-headed eagle with a crown on top that represents the 33rd degree Freemason in the Scottish Rite system. Double-headed eagle and a crown. This does not mean that Kanye West is inherently evil. However, allegedly, supposedly, it indicates that he is a student of the occult. He studies the hidden aspects of human consciousness. This is what the esoteric and occult is all about. Studying consciousness. Whether he uses that knowledge for good or for bad, that's for you to decide. But symbolism never lies. If you get the word earth and place the H at the beginning, you get the word heart. And this is why the earth is green mainly, because it's associated with the green heart chakra, which is love. It's the middle of the visible spectrum, balance. And this is why nature is always seeking to balance itself and regenerate itself. But what if I told you this has a deep meaning? Heart. This is the generator of your reality. You generate what you love or what you care. You only take action on what you care about. Therefore, the earth is the manifestation of love energy. All creation demands love. If you love football, you take the action to go play football. If you love money, you take the action to go generate money. That is the generator of your reality. So this is why the word heart and earth are the same, because it is the heart that generates earth, the physical manifested plane. So here's some early Christian artwork showing you mushrooms, magic mushrooms. This is one of the most ancient ways to increase and expand your awareness and consciousness. This one's even more interesting. This is the Last Supper, a very ancient painting of the Last Supper. And if you look at the very bottom underneath the table, you get these mushroom figures. So magic mushrooms reveal to you that we live in a mental universe, because when you take them and you hallucinate, whatever you think, you start to see. Your thoughts change your hallucinations. So you realize that the world is a mental world, mind over matter. The biggest lie you've ever been told is that God created the world thousands of years ago. And that's where most people mess up. They believe the world was made already, and now they're just placed in the world and they're just experiencing the world. That is a complete lie, built to make you a slave. The truth is, the present moment is the only moment that truly exists. There is an eternal now, and creation is unfolding in that eternal now, in the present moment. That's why it's called a present. It's your gift, because you can create in the present moment through thought, emotion, and action. You have the ability to change the present moment to shift the direction of your life into one way or another. God is not creating the world thousands of years ago. He is creating it right now, thinking thoughts into physical reality. You are a co-creator with God. And if you do not understand this, someone else who does understand this will seek to use your mind to steer you to build their creation and their agenda. And that's exactly what we see today. People are using other people's minds to manipulate them to create their agenda. That's what's going on.
What do you read that? Rahim? Book of Wisdom.
Book of
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Wisdom?
Wisdom.
That's yours.
Is that Jibby's?
This is Jimmy, yes. Book of Wisdom, Volume 1.
What's volume 1?
This is volume 2.
This one volume 3?
2. This is the first one, this is for Jimmy.
If you believe you are the physical body, then you are lost in the matrix and have fell for their programming. You never die. We need to understand that we have an external self, a self outside the mind, the physical body, and then we have a self inside the mind. The person who is inside the mind, who thinks, imagines, speaks inside of your head, is the eternal self. This self will never die. This causes all of your actions. The commands come from within. But then you have the external self, the physical body. And when you die, you are stripped of this physical body, and you can no longer distract yourself from your internal thoughts. This is why we must gain self-mastery before we pass on to the afterlife. Because we need to learn to be able to be okay with our internal world and not run from it. Because inside the spiritual plane, you cannot run away from your thoughts like you can in the material realm. You can distract yourself in the material realm. You cannot distract yourself from the internal spiritual realms of consciousness.